Hello and welcome to another stream. We're going to do some stitching on the Reaper tonight. This is a Friday night stream, so we're going to see what kind of crew we get in here tonight. It's probably going to be a little different than my normal daytime morning crew. Didn't feel like streaming this morning when I got up, or even last night. I was like, you know what? Let me try streaming at night. Let me see what I can do when I stream at night. I think I like streaming when it's dark. I do. I don't know why. It just seems like it's more, I don't know, realistic. But anyway, we're going to work on Reaper today and hopefully get some progress going. I'm repping my favorite YouTube channel, 10th Generation Dairyman. I love this kid. Hard work. He's a hard worker. He's the hardest worker I've seen on anywhere. And so he's pretty awesome. Now, question is, so I have everything that I need to get going with this. I think I do. I am going to pull up Pattern Keeper here, and we are going to get out of, oh yeah, I could pull out, in case anybody's interested in the raising the flag. I throw my little sunflower seeds out of the way. Get my raising the flag pattern out here. Hey! No, Sister Lucy. I had a great Thanksgiving. It was very quiet. How do you feel about Thanksgiving? How do you feel? That's just awkward. I got to get warmed up for the stream. But I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping in. It's going to roll out the old... I don't know how well you can see it. Can't really see it too well in this. If I hold it up to the small screen. Whoops. About right there. There is raising the flag. That's where we've made progress so far. Got about 1,800 stitches to go. Stitching like a maniac on that thing, but I don't want to stitch on it tonight. Been stitching all day on it. Wanted to stitch on some Reaper. Oh, that is awesome. You had the best Thanksgiving. First of all, that's awesome. And this is your first live stream you'll be able to watch. Fantastic. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to do a night stream. I haven't done a night stream in months, so I wanted to do a night stream for people like you that can't make it to my morning streams. Where you at? Where you from? I gotta pull up. Oh, I just got a Pattern Keeper. I need to pull up. I gotta pull up my Reaper pattern. Hello, Storm. Oh, you're from Georgia. That's cool. You know I'm from Georgia. Hey, Phobic, what's up? What's up, Becca? Hey, EJ. How y'all doing? Glad to see a lot of you guys were able to, yeah, night one, yeah, different kind of vibe. When I first started streaming, I actually did all night streams. Well, not all night streams, but I think almost all my streams were at night. I did like Monday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, or something like that. And it got to be too much at night because I come home after work and I would not want to talk for another couple of hours. But I've been off for the last couple of days. I'm feeling kind of energized, feeling good, feeling positive, so ready to stitch away here tonight on the Reaper. So I hope you guys are doing well. I gotta find out exactly where I'm at. I'll show you guys on Pattern Keeper how close, well, not how close. I'm at almost 69% of Reaper, and that's about, if I can block some of the light so you guys can see, that's about how close I am. So pretty happy about that. But you guys just can't see it when the exposure is too high. But anyway, so really just 4 pages for the most part left. Oh, you finally got Pattern Keeper and you're loving it? Of course. Hey, Cars. Good evening from Fullerton, California, just outside Los Angeles in Orange County. Nice. Yeah, I know, right? Well, I just getting motivated. I stopped working on Rainy Waterloo Place, and I just kind of have to shrink the number of projects that I work on and just work on a couple of them like all the time. And I'm making tremendous progress with this one. I actually rolled this one up. Whoops, let me throw my phone on the floor. I almost did. I actually rolled this one up, if you guys can see. So this used to be up here, but I stitched enough that I was able to roll it down last night, and was able to roll it down from the roller frame. So we're moving up in the world, technically. I've been a little worried about like how I'm going to progress from one page to the next, but I think right now I've got it in terms of like this is the next, this is one page and that's another page. Start from the bottom and kind of work my way up. It's might be the best way to do this. I just got to get my positioning correct here. Since work's super crazy, hard to watch morning Thursday stitch. I understand that. Understood. I didn't want to stitch on Thanksgiving. You know, I felt like, you know, most people, well, you might, you know, people, there were probably plenty of people who would have stopped in for a thing, but I thought, you know, holiday, let's not stitch. And then I thought about stitching. I was going to stitch this morning, and then I was like, you know what? Let me try a Friday night stream. Let me try and see if I can't catch some of the folks that can't make it to my daytime streams. Let me try a night stream and see how it goes. You thought you'd miss the stitching today. That would be why. What's up, Enor? You're about to start your first full coverage, but it's not compatible with Pattern Keeper. Oh, that's a bummer, dude. Who's it by? Where do I buy the roller frames? Well, right now, nowhere, because they are just completely unavailable. And just about any stitching store will do it. I get virtually all my supplies, but most of my supplies. My husband has turned up his computer very loud. Love you, babe. He's having a night though, so sorry. He's raiding tonight, and so he's got the sound on to where he can hear it. We'll see how loud it gets. And so if you guys can hear him downstairs, you let me know, okay? What was I saying? Oh, what do I buy the roller frames? So, but a stitching shop in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, is where I have a couple things on order from them right now. I'm going to get a 48-inch long set of roller bars, and I hope to be able to put on almost any project outside of Old World Map 2. Country Magic Stitch. Oh, man. You have an iPhone, you're so jealous of all you Pattern Keeper people. I got you. I got you. You know, you might check out on Cyber Monday, like Amazon or whatever, and see if you can't pick yourself up a cheap, older, like Amazon Fire tablet or something along those lines that you could probably use. I would imagine that as long as you're not buying the latest and greatest model, that you could probably get one for under $50. So, you just see. Android tablet, yeah. Cross Stitcher 11. I have Apple products too, but had to have Pattern Keeper, so you bought an Android tablet just for that. No regrets. I love it. So worth it. I would agree 100%. Yeah, so I mean, you may still be able to find deals this whole weekend, but look on Best Buy had your tablet for $100. There you go. If you don't need to buy like the latest and greatest version. You can totally just get an older one, and it really doesn't have to be that big. I mean, look, I use my phone. I have an Android phone, so I use my phone, and it's just the size of my hand, and I love it. I mean, one day I'll probably use a tablet, but right now I love it like this. I really should turn my exposure down so you guys can't see a little better, but we'll get that figured out for another stream. Maybe try BlueStacks. I think it's called Many Do That Way for their laptops. Yeah, I've heard of BlueStacks. Did not have time to stitch yesterday, cooking for 2, but made so much that I can feed 6. All right, we're heading over. We're coming over. That's what my hubby did too. He made, well, we had like ham and mashed potatoes and all different kinds of things, and it was very, very tasty and delightful, like I always like to say. Tasty and delightful. All right, I'm going to zoom in on this baby. Oh, but since you guys popped in, I'll show you guys. I thought I might work on raising the flag tonight, but honestly, I put about 700 stitches in it today, and I really just didn't want to work on it anymore. So let me show you guys what it looks like right now. So the goal is this weekend, to get it finished this weekend on this baby. You guys can see it. Can you see it? You can see it. You can pretty much see it. And so, but almost there, just a little bit more. Oh, and then if y'all didn't know, is Daphne here yet? If Daphne can make it, Daphne stitched and sent me one of my projects. You guys know her as Daffy. Why did I fall backwards? What did I do with it? Here it is. Here it is. So now you guys can see my pattern. My cougar. It's not a cougar, it's a lioness. It's a lioness. Here, I'll hold it up to the small one. So this is one of my patterns. You can find this on my Etsy store, Stitching Jewels Design. So it's only about, I want to say like maybe 15 colors maybe. So it's kind of a grayscale. So this is stitched on, looks like 18 count. So came out really well. I was really pleased with just the overall look of it. And she just did a great job. So there you go. There you go. Whoops. Oops, sorry, as I drop everything. On Facebook, look up Stitching with Pattern Keeper group. Great help for non-Android ways. Yeah, that's a great Facebook group there. What's up, Truffles? How you doing, Val? Last year I bought a cheap Android tablet from Walmart for about $50, $55 on Black Friday just to use Pattern Keeper, and it's still going strong. I swear by it. I mean, I think it's absolutely, it's a game changer when you get one, especially if you're doing full coverage. But even if you're not, like, because I'm using it on my monochromatic piece, the Raising the Flag, and it does pretty well. I really ought to take this and move this, but I'm not going to. Not right now, because that's too much time out. Too much time on my hands. What are we all stitching on? What's going on with the stitching? VRFR. Huh? Huh? Alrighty. Just gotta figure out where I'm at. There we go. Rock on. Finishing this month's portion of the Dark Queen of the Sea, Sal. For those who don't know, Sal is a stitch along. I'm stitching on Arcadia by Satsuma Street. Satsuma Street does some really good stuff. Cruising along on page 6 of 16, My Sweet Rose. Wow, I'm almost at the halfway point on that one. Dang. Nice. Nice. And nice. Binky, the dog, is here next to me. Sleeping. Wheezing just a smidge. I probably should have gave her a little bit more medication, but she was doing all right earlier. But she's a good little girl. She's been very happy to have me home for the last 2 days. She's not going to know what to do with me home the next 2 days. She's going to get far too used to this. She does get a little demanding. Oh, working on the Go corner of Monopoly game board. Nice. You're working on the Dark Queen of the Sea Cell too? There's 2 people doing that? That's crazy. Trying to finish your small animal sampler? Nice. That is awesome. You're going to hear the bird a little bit. He's been a little quiet today, but I think he's kind of happy I'm in here talking. Hope you don't mind it too much. I kind of, since he's the only one now, I like to, hey, Norwoos, what's up? Since he's the only one around, I like to have him be as loud as he wants to. 1, 2, 3, Yeah, the super noisy one is the one that passed. He was kind of a little jerk bird, and he was always trying to push the other one in the corner and whatnot. And so this one was pretty sad for a while. I mean, I think, well, I don't know if he was sad. I think he just didn't know what to do being by himself, but he's come along just fine. I play bird videos for him almost every day, so you can hear the birds chirping away, and he likes it. Whoops, came right out of the thingy thing. Right out. Jerk bird, yeah. I've had jerk fish, I've had jerk birds, I've had a couple of jerk dogs. Here we go. Your pups aren't going to like you going back to work next week. Yeah, exactly. You're like, wait a minute, we voted and you have to stay home. So I've been thinking, and I'm starting to kind of get a little bit of a hankering, so to speak, to bring out Old World Map 2 at some point again. I just got to organize all the floss. Ooh, that reminds me. There is a, hold on, I was going to show you guys. Whoops, as I drop this. Amazon, and I should just pull the trigger. I don't know if it's on sale right now. I have it in my little box here. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys this. So for 28 bucks, all right, for 28 bucks, you can get one of these. It has 64 little storage, like storage trays, like a little tool, like a little piece, whatever you call it. But like little knobs, whatever. Anyway, this is a floss rack if I ever saw one. It's $28 right now, and it can mount directly onto the wall. But I think I may have to get me one or two of those. I have the other system, which is the one where downstairs where I put everything in. Well, I don't have one handy, but in the larger trays. And whoa, as I pull everything aside. And so I have that downstairs, but I stitch now more up here. And part of me wants a little bit more focused, like this is where this number is, this is where that number is kind of thing. Just because in the bins, I still get stuff mixed up and I still don't know what I have, what I don't have. So if I get a couple of those, put those up on the wall over here, I think we'll be doing good. I think we'll be doing good. So we'll see. You posted your first cross stitch project on Facebook. Nice. On the Facebook page? The Stitch and Jewels Facebook page? Let me pull it up here. I have not been on the page very much lately because up until yesterday, I was sort of swamped with work. Let me switch over to Ooh. Oh wow. I'm looking at the Artisy project that Patricia posted. Wow. I'm getting distracted. Let me find. Or she posted it in the Artisy group. That would be why. There we go. Let me invite y'all if y'all want to join up. Go to Harbor Freight. I might get that cheaper. Really? I know. You know what? I'm so tied to Facebook, and I really shouldn't be. Harbor Freight. Look that up. You're 2,255 stitches into your project. You're not even 1% yet. Nice. Nice. Yeah. So Val says, Happy had one of those units. Check the back before you order. His had an open back that left it open to dust and debris to collect in the drawers. It may be okay with what you want to use it for, but I feel bad if you found out too late and it isn't okay with you. I did look at the back because we used to have one of those, and I wanted to use it for. Actually, I think we have it in the garage, and I wanted to use it for Floss. But yeah, that was the problem, is that it doesn't have a back to it. So when it tipped or it fell over, everything just fell out the back. So that doesn't work really well. That's not a good thing at all. Harbor Freight Black Friday. I've never even been to Harbor Freight. Tools. Black Friday. Ooh. I'm like, ooh, power washer. When you get like really, when you start, you're getting old and you're like, ooh, power washer. Ooh, look at that ladder. That's a good price for that ladder. All right, I'm going to favorite it. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm going to email it to myself. There we go. All right. All right, back to Pattern Keeper. What do you end up doing with the finished projects you don't gift? They are framed and they're put on the stitchy wall, but right now the stitchy wall is empty because hubby and I were contemplating a move. Now we're contemplating not moving. I'm telling you, it's back and forth, back and forth. But all the stitchy projects are in storage right now. So yeah. Yeah. So no, they get framed. I have a couple that I need to frame. So when Raising the Flag is done, I'm gonna there's probably 3 or 4 that I need to frame, but I'm likely gonna just hang up behind me on this wall my own projects, the ones that I've designed and had stitched or stitched myself or whatnot. I gotta figure out how to finagle my way into this a little better. Oh! All over the place. Hi. Okay. I'm like talking too much. I have a drawer full and I admire them every once in a while. Right? I never framed one until I got married, and then, well, until I met my husband, I'll say that. And he was like, these are too pretty. Like, you spent too much time on these to not put them up on a wall. So he was like, get them framed and I'll hang them for you. So they all have holes in the wall downstairs. So it was a big wall because there were like cross stitch collectibles. There was Ronnie Rowe. There's a lot of different Etsy patterns and stuff. So it was pretty cool stuff. Let me scoot over here a little bit. You completed Music Teacher's House and raffled at your son's baby shower diaper raffle. You raffled at your... What do you mean you raffled at your son's baby shower diaper raffle? Ronnie Rowe would love to know that you finished Music Teacher's House. For those of you guys who don't know, Ronnie Rowe is sort of the pioneer of the monochromatic pixelated look. He's been designing for like 30 years. He's an awesome dude. And he has helped me out a ton. There's Daphne. I was showing him the lioness. So there it is again. Thanks again, Daphne. Just talking about getting these things framed. Oh. So did you give away Music Teacher's House at the raffle? Daphne, share your FlossTube channel with us. If you can link it to the link it to the chat. Framed, yes. Oh, well, good for you. beautiful thing. I mean, that Music Teacher's House was one of my first, well, it was definitely my first framed cross stitch. And I still have it. There you go. Guys, go check out Daphne's channel. Just had a Stitch With Me pop up there. Oh, that reminds me, I need to upload a Stitch With Me. Probably the Stitch With Me from Monday. I don't know, maybe we'll do this one. Oh, but I was saying about, I was thinking about getting back into Old World Map 2. But what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to definitely get like one of those tool box things or whatever so I can store floss for the stuff that I need. Floss for the stuff that I need. Because Old World Map 2 has 200 and something colors in it. That was not a beautiful stitch right there. And so I gotta keep some of them around. I'm kind of thinking about getting back into it. Kind of thinking about it. Problem is, it's so huge, I can't really use a frame for it. Unless I got one of those, like, hey, Arrow! Unless I got one of those big old quilters frames, you know? Nancy, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You're so quiet. Of course, I don't know how reasonable it would be to do Old World Map 2 with a gigantic, with a big frame. Because there's so much starts and stops with that project. All the color changes, and I don't, and I tie everything off. I don't do parking. I don't take my floss everywhere, just because, man, I tangle that so bad. I am not nearly good enough to do that. But yeah, I was so I'm gonna have to get the hoops back. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. First goal would be to get floss management. Floss management, like people say cable management, it's floss management. Wait a minute, where am I? Hey, Coop, what's up? You made a live stream? Yeah, you did. It's been a little bit. It's only been like, it was a couple weeks ago or it was last week, but you hadn't been there for a long time. But I haven't been here for a long time since then. But, oh, Truffles, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I missed the message. I'm behind on a lot of things. So parking is basically where, like, if I wanted to stitch this color, I would stitch with a really long piece of floss, and then, like, I would stitch with that color, and then I would leave it, like, I would stitch only so far, and then I would leave it, while I then used other colors. Like, basically, it's when you see people have, like, their projects, and they have all the floss hanging from it. They're just leaving the floss on there for the next stitch, if that makes sense. So they're like, as they go across, like they stitch that color, it's about here, and then they'll let it hang, and then they'll start up another color and let that stitch, and then maybe that one goes to here, and they'll let that one hang for a bit. So it's a way that you don't have to tie off. You don't have to tie off your floss. A lot of people say it's faster, and it's tidier on the back because you aren't tying things off on the back all the time. So, but I tried parking, but you know me, I snag all the time. Oh, I did answer it for you. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Phew. Sundays we do breakfast during your streams. You always stream when I'm working, and the boss can't watch Twitch without setting a bad example to the employees. I understand. I understand. Oh, and Sundays you do breakfast during my streams. I got you. I got you. Yeah, special Friday night stream. Special holiday Friday night stream. If I can get some extra time off of work going forward at some point, I'll start streaming more at night. I kind of like streaming at night. I feel more awake. There's some days I just literally roll right out of bed and I start streaming. Let's see. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just I feel like you guys aren't getting the full of me. Marcia from Canada. Nice. EJ's from Canada. We got a lot of Canadians in here. I love it. You like this? Not at work? Nice. Did I have a good Thanksgiving? Yes, I had a very good, quiet Thanksgiving. I got to Zoom with the family I haven't seen like my aunts and uncles in a while. And we try to always get together for Thanksgiving. It's the big family holiday. And so this year we taught my aunts and uncle how to Zoom. So it worked out pretty well. It was fun seeing everybody, but it was also funny because there was like four of us streaming, my mom and my aunt and uncle, and we were just all staring at each other. It got quiet after a bit. We're just looking at each other like, wow, this is cool. You can actually stitch during the stream. Nice. Yeah, I oughta shake things up a little bit. I just am afraid I wouldn't be able to like maintain the schedule if I did stuff at night. All right, focus, focus. There we go. Do 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 do. Play Jack in the Box with your kids on Discord, or Jackbox with your kids on Discord. Nice. What is that? Jackbox. What is Jackbox? What's up, bird? He's like, thank you for the fresh water and the fresh food and the conversation. He is happy boy. He's a happy boy. He's a happy boy. Oh, parlor games you play on the internet using your phone. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Kim. How you doing? Nala is chunky but healthy. Birthday's next week. Happy early birthday. Yeah, what a year is right, especially for you. Do 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 do. I gotta fill stuff in because I am. There we go. There we go. If I can find. There it is. You reached 50% done on your honeybee portrait with no background as well as your sweetheart cottage. That is amazing! Honeybee portrait with no background. How has that been to stitch that part? You know me, I gotta stitch everything. That's another one I should get back to. Oh, I just need frames. I need more frames because I'm getting spoiled with this roller frame. Honeybee portrait, for those you don't know, is a hold on. It's a Heaven and Earth designs that I also have that I'm doing, and I don't know where the picture is. It's around here somewhere, but it's beautiful, and I really want to get it done someday. Confetti and more confetti. Oh lordy. Oh lordy. You know, that's the thing with stitching with both Pattern Keeper and a frame, is that confetti doesn't bug me the way that it used to, because I can just jump around and get stuff done. That's why I'm like really excited if I get longer roll bars, and I can put like Rainy Waterloo on there or something else. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. We had snow on Monday, so we actually had snow was still on the ground on Thanksgiving, so that was kind of nice to see that. Now, I don't end my strands the way that people normally do when they're doing this method of stitching, but it's the way that I like to do it. I just pull them through underneath and pull them out, and I'll fix them up later, but this is kind of how I like to do it. This is how we do it. Let's see here. I might come over here a little bit. Let's see what we got cooking. Aha, some 648. There we go. I just found some 648. Now 648, I went on a quest for this earlier today. I was looking and looking and looking, and I finally found like stuff. I found one skein, one partially used skein that I need to put on something. I'll put it on, I don't know, something like this. And I'm looking all over for it, and finally found it. Actually, I think I want to put this back on here. You never knew a bee's wings could be so colorful. Oh man. Well, the light catches them in a lot of different ways. They are quite colorful. They are quite intricate. We were watching a video yesterday. There was this guy had created this. Well, I don't know. Somehow he had gotten one of those murder hornets, and he had set up a mesh around his beehives, and the beehives basically were the mesh was just small enough that the bees could get through, but the murder hornet could not. The problem was that the bees were a little confused by the mesh, and so they'd come right up to the mesh, and then they would kind of try to find a way to get through the mesh. They'd have to like land and then go through, and the murder hornet was coming up, and there was a super slow-mo camera that was recording him as it like would grab a bee, and then it was like you see his feet were like it was like a total wrestling match where he was trying to get to the point where he could literally rip the head off the bee, because that's how they kill him. And and you see the bees like all struggling and whatever, and I didn't see any bees die, but it was a heck of a video. It was like one of those National Geographic or whatever, like, video of the year kind of nature thing. It's pretty awesome. You're trying to power through the bog of blue. You've used almost a full skein of one of the colors. That's a lot of a color. That's a lot of a color. Do 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 do. Come here. I always do this. I have no patience. I have no patience. And then I tangle stuff. Whee! You can do it. You guys are watching me be completely incompetent trying to get stuff off. Okay, my arms are tired. I'm about to start a project that is much confetti and much blended threads. Needless to say, I will be using parking for the first time. Oh, Shani, how you doing? Is that a Scarlet Quinn's piece? Oh, I have succeeded in messing this whole thing up. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Come here. Come here. I can just hear everybody stitching. I can hear it. Heads down. We're all gonna make a lot of progress tonight. Whee! Almost snagged. Snag. Whee! Come on. There we go. All right. All right. 8 years later. Not you trying to rest? I gotcha. The I can't read that. Arnolfini marriage. One of your favorite paintings and so exciting and intimidating. Arnolfini, like, how do you pronounce that? Arnolfini? Is that an M or an N? No, A-R-N. I'm sitting further back from the computer than I normally do. So I can't read. And I can't see. Alright, scissors, you go away. Alright, where do we start? From whence do we start? From where do we start? Alrighty then. Let's see here. Start down here. So my little pin stitch, bottom left, go down, upper right, come up, pull it almost all the way through, holding on to the end, loop it through. Come here. Pull it a little snug, pull that little overlap down, and then I take my, kind of go through that, back down to the bottom left, tug it gently, and here we go. Rock and roll. So I know I can kind of do something similar when I finish this, using this floss, this strands, but I don't like it. I just don't like it. So I don't do it. I don't like it, and I don't do it. If you Google the name, the image will come up. Renaissance era. My first attempt? Hey, Winnie, what's up? What did I say? Arnolfini? Okay, I'm going to have to look at this. Ooh. Is it this one? That one right there? The colors are amazing. Where did a doggy? What are those shoes? Those are like some seriously old shoes right there. Here's a little dog. That is just brilliant. I mean, look at the detail on that. That is brilliant. I'm actually going to try and do, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to try and do this one for, believe it or not, this one photo is, whatchamacallit, public domain. I think it was this one. One of my aunts last night was like, "You should look at pointillism," and I'm like, "What is pointillism?" Well, now I know what pointillism is. I'll show you. You guys have seen it. You just may not realize you've seen it. Well, kind of show you part of it. Gosh darn it! Can you see it? Kind of. So if I show it up like this, it washes out. It's too much light. But anyway, so Georges Seurat. Anyway, so I actually want to take this one and make it into cross stitch, but I want to do it with the same pixelation, which that's what cross stitch is. It's truly pixelation, but I want to make it so that it looks like that as well on the pattern. That's something I'm going to get to at some point here when I get around it. Wow, I'm just pushing this all over the place. Scarlet Quince has that pattern. I can do it too. I don't doubt that other people have it. I want to do it in a slightly different way though. Like I literally, there's a way to do it differently. The dog represents fidelity. Oh, that's nice. It's amazing that it's public domain. You know, it just depends on the estate. How famous a portrait is. I mean, like the Mona Lisa is public domain. A lot of Van Gogh stuff is or Van Gogh, depending upon where you're from. That painting is huge. Ah, but you see, I have tricks. I have tools. I have ways to make that different. But I'll have to, you know what, Norwoos, I want to have to look at Scarlet Quince's version of it because I don't want to make an identical version of it for sure. So either a different size or just, I want to pixelate it. I want to do okay, now I have the hiccups. That is rare. Do I truly have the hiccups? We'll find out. Dun, dun, dun. I just think it's amazing that somebody, like, literally, it's kind of like the people who create images out of shrinking other images to really tiny points and then creating a photo out of them. That's just crazy. It'll be fun. We'll see. So I shouldn't make an exact copy, but if I can make it what I think it could be, then I'll jump in and do it. But see, the reason, I mean, so the fact that Scarlet Quince is doing it means it's, for the most part, it's going to be, well, it doesn't have to be public domain because they're doing some, what do you call them? Where's the guy that did the Life? Norman Rockwell. They have some Norman Rockwell that I think might be, I don't know if they're public domain or not, but they seem to be, well, I should say I don't know if they are or not. I don't know. But I kind of I started stitching a lot more, so I haven't designed as much lately. But who knows, maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. Put together some new designs. I've got half a dozen ones that I'm going to try and see what I can do with. See if I can do anything with them, I should say. Boop Boobity bobbity boo. Beebly boppity boo. I think about starting the year, like how different I stitch now compared to how I stitched last year. You know, using Pattern Keeper and the frame. I mean, I never did two-handed stitching. I never used Pattern Keeper. I never, you know, there's so many different things that I'm doing differently now than I was a year ago. 2020 was a stitching renaissance. Oh, you bought my 2 monochromatic house patterns. Thank you. That's awesome. Finished that chart early this year. What did I say? Remember what I said. Which chart? Well, thank you. Thank you for buying those monochromatic house patterns. I do love them. This is, so you guys can see, this is one of them. And so I like it. I want to stitch them too. I want to stitch about half the stuff that I put out. The other half I would stitch, but I don't have the time. I know I don't have the time. Oh. Where did I get the side clips for the frames? I got these on Etsy. So they're fabric tensioners, something like that, side tensioners. But I kind of Googled it, and then I ended up buying them on Etsy. I don't think I have that card readily available for who I bought it from, but yep, that's what I got. They do a really good job too. We are full on holiday season. We've had the Christmas tree up for a week though. We jumped in a little bit early. Normally I'm kind of a grumpy goose, and I don't like putting up Christmas stuff a whole lot. I'm just like, I'm too busy. I'm like Scrooge. Last year I was really kind of crabby. This year I'm like, you know, I feel like 2021 is going to be ultimately such a better year in so many ways that I think I'm just kind of looking forward to it. I don't want to say it can't get any worse because, you know, let's not tempt fate here. I just bought an amazing frame kit. Came with 5 or 6 different rod sizes. I think it's called American Dream. Nice. Let me look at that. American Dream frame kit. Woo. I can't, man, I tell you what, the older I get, the worse I get at typing things out. Oh my God, I can't even type things correctly. American Dream frame. Ooh. Well, nice. Wait, zip this out. That is very cool. I can't believe you actually got it. I mean, all the framing kits are like, wow, that's cool. I'm just staring at it. That's awesome. That's really pretty too. So American Dream products. They have their own website, but they have a Facebook group. Easy Stitch Stands. Easy Stitch Stands. adp-usa.com is their website. It is so hard to find any framing products right now. Such a shortage. The wood is so smooth. Yeah, this is nice too. It's like a pet the frame. Pet the frame. Oh, all right, Phobic. We'll see you later. You have a good night. My stitching is off the screen on the bottom. Thanks. I think my camera turned. this, move that. Keep hitting it. It's my fault. Dueling Needles, hello! On Amazon, nice. Tree's going up tomorrow. We don't usually celebrate New Year's, but this year we will be celebrating the end of this year for sure. That's for sure. Then you can get the really large rods, floor stand or lap stand. Nice. Ah, Sharon's here. What's up? Supposed to be Purple Sharon. Purple Sharon. Haven't seen you in a few weeks, sister. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Yep. I should probably find a smaller needle for this. I really should, because this is kind of a bigger needle. Just don't know what to do with the smaller ones. Here's one. You can see the difference in size between these two. I don't know if you can see the difference in size. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Well, so it's a tiny bit shorter, but definitely smaller. So I'm going to go with this one. It's just easier to get stuff stitched. Oh, you found a Frank Edmonds stand and you love it. The wood isn't smooth though. Well, that's, you can take care of that though. You can sand it down. Nice. Yay! I'll be back live on Sunday. Yay! The wood on your case creation stand isn't either. I don't really care for it. Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I have hair. My tongue is sprouting hair. Ah. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Sharon, I am well. Thank you for asking. Doing good. Surprised everybody with a night stream. Don't even know how long we're going to go tonight. Because going to go till I start feeling sleepy. Who knows how long that is. I was saying how like I should do an occasional night stream just because I'm more awake at night for sure. In the mornings, I feel like I roll out of bed and I hop right into the stream. I don't think you guys always get me when I'm awake. I'm kind of half asleep. Awesome. Do you ever get carried away and do way too many stitches? I'm pulling out a bunch I just did. Oh, heck yeah. All the time. Absolutely. Especially if I'm not paying that much attention when we're like talking like this. So I can always get myself into trouble. Always. Always and forever. La 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 la. La 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 la. I don't even know why I'm singing what I'm singing. Not really even singing. Stitching too far. Stitching too far. So does anybody like science fiction books? Like we usually talk and we talk a lot about fantasy books here, fantasy genre, and I needed to take a break from the fantasy genre lately, and actually I went into some sci-fi, and now I'm now I'm listening to the series The Expanse by by James Corey, I think his name is, and it's really good. I've gotten into it. Really great character development, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through book 2, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, Storm. We'll see you laters. Have a good night. You've been watching my older YouTube videos from 3 years ago. Oh man, I still haven't gotten any further on a lot of those projects. I occasionally get the random emails sometimes that people are like, when they talk about Old World Map 2, they're like, wow, that's big. How much further along are you? And I'm like, yeah, like a page, not very much. And so it's pretty awesome though. It's nice to be able to go back and look at the older ones just to see how far I've come. But thank you for watching. That's awesome. The Expanse. Yep, The Expanse. Yeah, it's good. It's a sci-fi thriller kind of thing, you know. I definitely recommend it. It's been very engaging so far. That actually is a TV show. Sci-Fi Channel made a TV show out of it. I have zero plans to watch it because I don't watch TV, but it's good. And then I got to get to Ready Player 2 here shortly. My husband's like, you gotta read it, because he's already listened to it, so he wants to talk to me about it. But I'm like, but I checked this book out from the library, and I only have like so many days left to finish it. So I'll get there. I'll get there. Yeah, I definitely needed something different. Little break. Little break. You love the Stitchy t-shirts I used to show off? Oh, yeah, I told your kids they should add that to your mom's Christmas wish list. Yeah, you know, I need to get into t-shirt design and make up some of my own t-shirt sayings. But, you know, I think I don't even know if I have, how many of them I still have. I'm like, what am I wearing right now? I can't see because I have my glasses on. Does that make any sense? I can't see because I have my glasses on. I am actually repping a new, well, this is my favorite YouTube channel. You guys are going to laugh when you see what it is. It's called 10th Generation Dairyman. I love this kid. I love this kid. He's a dairy farmer in, obviously, in just outside of Philadelphia, and he's man works hard. Man works hard, and I just like watching him work. And so I like how he does his videos. Matter of fact, this is how we do this. This is how we do that. He shows what he does. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're listening to Sherlock Holmes. Which one? Which story? You can't walk with your glasses on? Thank you. Hey, Becky? Yeah, I used to do a whole thing with the t-shirts. That was a thing on my channel for the longest time. I was really crazy about those. I really enjoyed them. The thing is that not all of them come, like this sweatshirt is super thin. Well, it's not super thin. For a thick sweatshirt, it's on the thinner side, but it's so comfy and it's warm. And so it's turning into one of my favorite things to wear when I come home at night. But I don't need one more thing to do. I don't need one more thing. I need 5 more things to do. Oh, yeah. Stitching on black fabric tonight. It's a challenge. Yeah, they're right. Put something white under your fabric and you should be able to see the holes better. Yep, absolutely. You have a pillowcase on your lap. That works. Ah. Yeah, I've gotten quite a lot stitched on this. I think, I'm trying to think, is it Thursday? Thursday I must have put in about 1,000 stitches on this one. And then, yeah, I guess it must have been Thursday, Thanksgiving. I did a bunch of that, and then I rolled it up. It's pretty happy with the progress. Must make progress. Oh, nice. Nice, Jared. You thought of me when you were planting over 500 tomatoes and over 600 ferns on farm together just a bit ago. Loaded day. Yeah, I was planting. I'm actually like on. I think I've completed 3 of the 7 things on the ferns. For whatever reason, I jumped right on the ferns this time. I'm like, I'm gonna get them done. I think it's because I'm at a point with my quests where I'm not planting very many vegetables. For those of you guys don't know, Sharon and I play this same video game called Farm Together, which is just like a little farming, cute little farming video game that we both enjoy quite a lot. It's very addictive. I'm on level 170 now. Hubby says I can't get to level 250 by the end of the year, and I'm like, probably not, but challenge accepted. Or am I on 180? I'm on 180-ish. Something like that. You miss Apothecary Shop? I miss Apothecary Shop. I do. In fact, if you guys want to know, when I pulled out my patterns here, here's Apothecary Shop. That baby needs to be stitched. It really does. And I think once I get my longer frame stuff, I can definitely I'll put this on there. It's actually more the chart. That's a challenge. It's printed very small, and I'm working on an area with confetti stitching of 4 different shades of avocado green. Oh, man. That's tough. You're on level 102 and you only play once a week. I think the levels get a lot hard, like they take a lot longer. The quests in that game, they get a lot longer as time goes by. And I think it's one of those games where if I played it a little bit less, I could make more progress. I think I waste time when I'm doing that. 20 right here. You do the longer question in the shop thing? Absolutely. That does help quite a bit. I went ahead, I think I got all the achievements done. I had a couple of achievements that I needed to finish up, and I went ahead and I got those done. Reaper is coming right along. I've got, well, about half that cowl done. Because he comes up here, so his face is, I think, starts about right here. So I might get a lot more stitching done before his face comes into view. And I'm hoping that I can basically, like when I get there, is have everything I need to stitch like right, well, of course, that's how it's going to end. I'm going to have everything to stitch right in front of me, all the space and whatnot. And then I can just go all over with colors and just fill stuff in left and right. Oh, not that one. This one. That's like saying, you always find it in the last place you look. Well, stop looking once you find it. Silly. When I get a larger frame, will you put it on a stand? It's on a stand. This is a standing roller frame, and so it's not a lap frame. But yeah, as soon as I get, like, when I get other big, like a couple more of these larger thingy things I'm looking at. It's probably going to be, I honestly should put Apothecary Shop on the bigger frame. And then I could, because I can still make a lot of progress with Rainy Waterloo with my hoop. I still can do that with the hoops on that, but it's going to be easier with Apothecary Shop to do it up there. And the question is I'll be able to spread it all across. I could just literally line it up in a way that I could, like, where'd it go? Like, I could, if I get the 48 inch, because this is, I want to say it's like 34, 35 inches wide. Not this personally, but the pattern is, and the fabric is. So if I put it on the frame and I just roll out the top part, basically, I'll just go and finish the top. I'll start by finishing, go all the way across and finish the top, and then, because this is where all the confetti stuff, the reflections of the house across the street, that's a lot of confetti there. But it won't be so bad when I have a wider space to stitch. I can stitch all those. Yeah, it just makes it so much easier. I'm about right here right now. I've gotten that. I'm about right there. That's how much I've gotten done out of that pattern. Oh, I want to do it. And then, of course, I've got baseball. Baseball. I love my baseball. And I'm kind of like here on baseball. So there's a lot that needs to be done. There's a retirement that needs to happen. There's a lottery that needs to be won. That's what hubby and I say. There's a lottery that needs to be won. 1, 2. You hold yours in hand? Nice. You don't even use a hoop? That is impressive. I just can't. I can't even imagine that. Just poke myself. I've been stabbing myself lately. Oh yeah, and the thing on the side of my thumb is almost healed up. Because I'm saying something about it now, it's gonna unheal. But I had this crack in my thumb. I think it was from all the stitching that I had started doing again. But I finally remembered to put that Burt's Bees stuff on it a couple nights in a row, and that's all it needed was just a little extra moisture. All right. Bada 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 boo. Bada 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 boom boom boom. Bada 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 ba. I'm all confused. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. But when I'm focused and I'm stitching on this thing now, with everything, with all the tools that I have, I'm flying on the Reaper right now. Flying. You stitch in hand as well using the sewing method. Though I just got a Q-snap to try full coverage. Very cool. Oh man. You do the long quest, you recycle lots of land and critters. Nice. Which reminds you, you must put in some serious time on Stormtrooper so you can finish your page before next floss tube. Nice. Nice. And nice. Do 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 do. Stitching. Stitching. I feel like I definitely haven't, 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 I de marked off stuff that I have been doing the way that I should be. I can see that I've got stitches that are not filled in properly on this, but I will get there. It's going to artificially inflate my U count for today. My view count? My stitch count. Get down here. Ah! I will say that I'm a bit more prone to stabbing myself on certain projects now. I stab myself at least a couple of times a day with the roller frame. Not always as careful as I should be, or sometimes if I'm just going really fast. And I hoist myself. Yeah, this pattern keeper I did not fill in all the way. I love how there's just a ton of different ways to stitch, though. There's not just like one way to stitch. It's all like what's comfortable. You've tried stitching in hand and sewing method, but it was not for you at that time. Good for you guys, though. Nice. There's so many different ways. See, now, if I ever had a situation in which I had my projects, but my hoop broke, like, I would be really slow. I'd really be having a hard time with it. But you guys just be flying along. Ain't no big deal. I'm going to take this, highlight that, and then get those out of the way because I've stitched those. All right. Boo, 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 boo. Ba, 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 ba. I knew I had to find the 648 for this very purpose. So I got all this. All this has got to be stitched in 648. Makes me happy. Oh. There's a reason why they call it the stab method. That's right. You stitch in hand on your small projects that are too small for a Q-snap. Ah. Grandma was a quilter, and she would sit me down and stitch a bit on it so the sewing method clicked with you. There you go. Passed down from generation to generation. There's that. Bada boo 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 boo. Bada 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 boo boo boo. Oh, little one is so flippin' cute. She's sitting next to me right now, taking a nappy. She hasn't really been taking much of a nap today. She's been up and about all day, eating like a pig. Oh, my grandma wasn't really, I don't think she really did much. She sewed, but she didn't really do a whole lot of crafting that I know of. That I might be wrong about that though, because I wasn't always around, obviously. Do 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 do. I'm off the screen. Why am I off the screen? There we go. I tried zooming in a little bit tonight. Ah. 8-inch embroidery hoop stuck in the Lowry stand in order to do two-handed stitching. Nice. Yeah, I gotta say that I really enjoy two-handed stitching. I was so stubborn about doing it for the longest time, and now that I'm using both hands like this, I think it's pretty awesome. It's a lot faster for sure. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I have to let that hang for a sec because it's all twisted. All right. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, lovely stitchy people. You gotta hop off and get stuff to do tonight before you can stitch. You will see us on Sunday, Miss Sharon. You guys have a good night. You have a good night. I'll see you later. Get stuff done. Getting stuff done. Getting stitching done. Boop, 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 boop. I'm trying to think of what else we can talk about tonight. I'm just kind of quietish because I always get quiet when I'm stitching a lot. Do 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 do. Whee. Yeah, I mean, it's basically been a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of playing with the Binky dog, a little bit of eating, a lot of eating, get some good sleeps. Just relaxing. Just relaxing. Feels like the Waltons? Yeah. Hey, Garonce, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Good to see you. Stitchy roll call. What are we stitching on? Anybody get any new patterns? Is anybody having who's having a Black Friday sale? Any of the stores having Black Fridays? They gotta be having Black Friday sales. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Getting my stitching in. Blah 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 blah. You taught 3 young girls to stitch on Wednesday and you think they're getting hooked. It's awesome! More people should stitch. Especially when there's so much you can do. So much to do. Sorry you haven't been able to catch a stream live, but you've been watching some of the VODs. Nice! That's awesome. That is awesome. Arcadia. Hade is having a sale. Stitching Mommy. Nice. You bought 3 different Reapers for hubby? Oh, that sounds bad. That sounds bad. Oh my gosh, when you less than 300 stitches to go on raising the flag. Oh man, you are beating me. I'm about 1,800 to go. Nice. Working on an old Janlin kit called Daisy Girl. Bought it like 17 years ago. Started it, messed it up, started again a few weeks ago. That's awesome. Why did you buy 3 different Reapers for your husband and 4 other patterns on Etsy? Not stitching tonight. You're a diamond painting. Don't trust me counting tonight. Oh, okay. You're a one whip at a time kind of gal. Once you finish your My Sweet Rose, I would like to do Christmas stockings for your kids. Nice. Cars just got paid. Vatican Sunset. Thomas Kincaid. Nice. Oh, I remember that one. That one's kind of like, it's really dark, but there's a lot of gold in it. That was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, you need to finish up some other full coverage pieces before you can start on that one. I gotcha. Daphne bought a mystery salve from Caterpillar Cross Stitch that starts in January 2021. Nice. Oh, Caterpillar. Sorry, not Caterpillar. Caterpillar. Nice. It's his nickname. We have Reapers all over the place. Oh, Becky, that's awesome. So when you say you bought him 3 Reapers, like what are we talking about? You taught patterns or something different? Reaper. Oof, I don't know if I want to know why he has that nickname. There we go. Pop that up there. Da, 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 da. Cross stitch patterns. Nice. Do you have this one then? The one from Thomas Paine? Ah! There we go. I should have pulled that one down too. Ah, I'm doing it wrong. There we go. I'm cutting it. I'm cutting it. Just cutting out the snags. Snag. Goodbye, snag. Oh no, I told him he wants that one, he has to stitch it. Nice. He can't stitch anymore, his eyes are way too bad. Oh man. Oh. Let me go back up here. So, oh yeah, so Becky, I have, I don't know if you know, I have a blog. I have a blog. It's creatively named stitchingjewels.com. And I just posted a couple of diamond painting articles that I put up yesterday where I did, I found a bunch of diamond paintings. I forgot, man, now I'm forgetting exactly what I did it on, but I know I did it on American-based diamond painting companies, so ones that ship from America. I found maybe like 8 or 9 on Etsy that said that they shipped from the United States and had shipping dates that were pretty similar. So I did an article on that one, and then I did another one. I did another diamond painting one. I forgot what it was about. Plus, I did a cross stitching one where I listed a bunch of cross stitching sports patterns. If you guys are looking for a sports pattern, a lot of different sports. There's some really cool ones, including some really artistic looks at like snowboarding, a few other sports that you normally wouldn't necessarily associate with, say, cross stitching. I always have to have my, because I put my left hand down, I have to have my phone to my right when I use it. Yeah. Ah, see? Ah. Well, I have a big, huge list on there anyway about diamond painting companies. The same way I have them on the blog, I have a huge list of cross-stitching sites online where you can get patterns and supplies and all kinds of things. I like to collect all those resources so everybody has them in one spot. Oh, I missed a half stitch over here. Just found it right there. Do. Man, I don't think I could do one whip at a time, though. I tell you, I'm so scatterbrained. I'd be afraid that I would. Well, I shouldn't say that. I used to do that a long time ago. When I first got into cross stitching, I would work on one thing at a time. But when I discovered like online stores for cross stitch patterns, then it just became a little bit of a free for all. And I'm like, I have to stitch them all. And it propelled me into the channel, doing the channel, all these patterns. And anyway, now it's just one big, crazy, somewhat socially acceptable disease to be obsessed with cross stitching. Womp, 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 womp. Womp, 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 womp. I got this song from Polar Express in my head. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know the words. Feels like I got something's blocking me from stitching there. You've been watching my channel for 3 weeks from the beginning. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Well, you'll see a big change this year. There was a major change from stitching like 6 or 7 things at a time, and then I went a couple of weeks where I didn't stitch anything, and then I finally got back on where I'm stitching a few things at a time now. The work stress got to me, and I just couldn't stitch this summer or spring really. I need to go back and watch my end of year 2019 video and see just how little I got done this year. I mean, I was really good in the beginning. I got a lot stitched, and then I just slowed down. But in regards to a couple of these projects, I'm still going fast. Well, like say at the beginning of the year, I had like a dozen different whips, and I'd rotate through them and stitch on different ones. I'm sorry. I just got to bring my leg up because my hips hurt. You watched every episode? Oh, you guys are crazy. You're crazy. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, can you see me stitching? There we go. Sort of. But I had all these pieces that and I wasn't making, maybe part of it was I wasn't making very much progress with them. I might have been getting a little frustrated maybe. I don't know, but it was mostly work that I was frustrated with, and so I really needed to just back off. And honestly, starting the store, starting the design, putting out patterns, starting my own store and everything, like really helped get me excited again about stitching. Because there's all these things that I've put out there that I'm like, I want to stitch that, and I want to stitch that. I'm going to put this stitch in right here. So I'll have a couple finishes for the year. Won't be a lot, but I'll have a couple. I just keep hitting this, moving this thing back and forth. I need to attach it to the table so it stops moving. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and highlight this box here. Come on. And this box here. And then move this over so I can see what I got to do. Rolling up the sleeves. Truffles. We'll see you later. You have a good night and a good weekend. Go on say. I just like saying go on say. Do I do any other kind of fiber arts like knitting, for example? Just learning? No, I have no time. I have no time. I tried knitting some years back for something different, and I just couldn't, I couldn't get the hang of it. What I needed was I needed somebody like that I could hang out with that knew how to knit and was, would help me kind of get over the hump in that regard. But in the end, nah, I'm like, you know what? This is just taking too much time. I've got to do cross stitch. It's my thing. I mean, if I didn't cross stitch, I would probably diamond paint since they're so close to each other with what they are, what they do. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. See, I just poked myself. Right. I mean, I have other hobbies, but video games and audiobooks and website stuff and anything to do with creating website stuff. I really don't have time for anything else. I would love to put together jigsaw puzzles again one day, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have enough time for that. Yeah, maybe one day, but honestly, my time needs to be spent stitching some of these massive projects that I have and that I want to get done. Oh, thanks, Coop. I know, I'm almost done with the bottom pages. Getting so close. You never listen to an audiobook, you're nervous that they'll just put you to sleep. It totally depends on what book you're reading. Now, I have had some books that I have tried falling asleep to, but I think I've trained my ear in a lot of ways to listen to audiobooks. And it's not, I don't know. It's all about the narrator. So for me, like, even if it's a book that I really want to read, if I start listening to it and I don't like the narrator's voice, because it just doesn't fit, just doesn't sound good in my ear, then I've stopped books that I should read. I'm just like, yeah, I'll come back later and try it again. But no, if when I start listening to it, and I start listening to a book, and I'll give it like half an hour or maybe longer. And if I'm not grabbed in that first half hour, I move on. I just move on because there's so many books out there, and I am not going to listen to a book that I'm not really enjoying. I just can't do it. It's like stitching on a piece that you just don't like stitching on. It's so hard. But there's a lot of really good narrators out there that just do a fantastic job of bringing you right into the story, and it's really good stuff. But I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I use a combination of Overdrive to use with my library. I try to use Overdrive as much as I can, but I so frequently find that, like, if there's a series of like 8 books out there that I want to listen to, the library will have book 1 and then they won't have anything else. So then I have to look for it on another site, which Scribd or Scribd, SCRIBD, is another one that I've used. And then worst case, I'll look on Amazon, or not Amazon, Audible. Which, although nowadays Audible has a much more open, they're getting more to have like a library type. Okay, I think I gotta just do that right there. They're having more unlimited listening. Not like your super popular books, but they do have a lot of books on there. So I need to start looking for books that I want to listen to on there as well. Right here. But I can't even like read a book anymore. I just can't. I can't focus on it. I need something to listen to when I stitch or when I'm playing a video game. Because I don't listen to video game audio. And I just put my headphones on and listen to a book. It's very relaxing. And my husband and I are both the kind of people that that we have to have something playing in the background when we sleep at night. So it's we're always playing something in the background. We like, for that kind of thing, we like to listen to Neil Gaiman. I would highly recommend, if you like Neil Gaiman, you should listen to Neil Gaiman's voice. Now, if you've never heard of Neil Gaiman, you don't know his books, oh my goodness gracious, you gotta listen to Neil Gaiman. But he has a wonderful voice to listen to. And there's a lot of books out there that I really enjoy. Hey, Lori! Are you saying good evening as in hello or goodbye? Because I haven't seen you. So you just got here? Your dad gets them free from the Library of Congress. They provide talking books for disabled individuals, and he loves them. That's awesome. Hello. Sherlock Holmes book you're listening to is free from Audible. Love the fact that once I've listened to my book that I bought with credit, I can still listen to other books they have for free. I know, that's awesome. Library of Congress, that is cool. Come on. Lori, what are you stitching on tonight? You stitching on anything, or what you got going on? I use Audible quite a bit, especially with a lot of their free books now. The Audible books have gotten me through many hours of cross-stitch and diamond painting. Nice. That's awesome. I like that Amazon did that because it really expands people's like libraries. I mean, to be able to like just search, because for a lot of people, I think Audible's likely their first experience with audiobooks, and so letting them peruse a catalog, you know, because audiobooks by themselves are expensive, and I rarely buy any other books, but I do have the Audible membership so that I get that one free book a week. I have like 2 books right now. I'm a 2-book credit. I need to look into adding a book or 2. I love Audible. Oh wait, we already talked about that. I already talked about that. I love that they call them talking books. Now my sister and I only refer to audiobooks as talking books. Nice. About to start listening to Gone with the Wind. About 48 hours of listening in one book. Nice. That is amazing. Yeah, a lot of my books are anywhere from like 25 to 40. No, not 40. 25 to 30, 20 to 30 hours long. Although I will say, hubby listened to, one of you guys recommended The Wandering Inn, and let me see how long The Wandering Inn is real quick, because that book is huge, and I've barely even started it. Let me look here. This is Audible. Why doesn't it tell me how long I have? Huh. Well, it's really long. I want to say it was like at least 40 hours. Yeah, there's a lot of super long books. And you can't get a book that's like, well, you can, but it's hard to get a book that is like 4 hours long because like for us, we end up falling asleep and then we wake up and nothing's playing. So then you got to start up another book. And so that's never optimal. Outlander series is wonderful. Nice. I'm stitching on The Lady Working on Her Needlework by Country Town Girl on Etsy. Nice. Very cool. Um, I highly recommend The Martian. Even if you've seen the movie and maybe if you've read the book, I highly recommend listening to the audiobook because the guy does a great job. And my husband and I have loved that book and have listened to it probably at least 100 times because it's just so good. Okay. All right, Val. Have a good Saturday. I'll see you on Sunday. You take care. The Wandering Inn. Yeah, The Wandering Inn. There's two books of that. The second book just came out, and I can't really tell you what it's about because I've only gotten in like 2 chapters into the first book. But my husband listened to it all and he liked it. It's kind of a fantasy type book, I think, but some folks in here were really, really high on it, and I had never even heard of it before. But hubby liked it. Hubby liked it a lot. Um, the other one that I would highly recommend, if you guys ever get a chance, wait a minute, you've been reading the Giver Quartet at work. If anyone liked the Giver and hasn't heard of the Quartet, we definitely recommend. Oh, I haven't heard of the Quartet, so that's cool. I like the Giver. Um, I also really like, uh, shoot, hold on, Paulo Coelho. What did Paulo Coelho write? The Blah by Paulo Coelho. Why can't I remember this? I've listened to it so many times. The Alchemist. That's what it is. The Alchemist sounds like well, it sounds like a crazy title. It's a 4-hour book on Audible or on audio. Highly recommend it. It's one of those it's almost like a fable, like an old parable, an old story. It's written in that way, but the audiobook is so good. It's so good. My only downfall of that is that it's only 4 hours long, and so, but it suits it well. Pattern keeper. I was like, what was I doing? Pattern keeper. Because it's read by Jeremy Irons. Irons? Why did I say Irons? Irons. Jeremy Irons, and he has a great voice for audiobooks, especially this one. I'm not sure how they got him to read this book, but it's pretty great. Birds eating, dogs a sleeping, Jules is stitching. Ow, I missed that stitch. I didn't miss it underneath. I poked myself in the finger. Blah, 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 blah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, because I'm not stitching all of these. I got to be careful. Talking about stitching in the wrong spot. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I should. There we go. What else? I like David McCullough history books. I like those a lot. I really enjoyed, although gosh knows that it's gotten more annoying with time. So the King Killer Chronicles. Has anybody read those by Patrick Rothfuss? Um, Great books, great audiobooks. The last book may never get written. Let's just say that. Uh, the last book may never get written. No, when you use credits to get the books, do you have a certain amount of time to read them? No, they're yours. Um, they're they're technically yours on your app for forever, or you can listen to them online on Audible, on Amazon. Basically, you don't need a phone to listen to them. You can listen to them with any computer or device or anything, but they're yours. And so through your Amazon account for as long as Amazon, it's kind of like Apple Music, the Apple Store, Music, whatever they call that, and so as long as you're using an Amazon account, it's your book to keep. So, um, yeah. So Wandering Inn is almost 42 hours, and the second one is 60 plus hours. Yeah, hubby listened to that second one in like a week or something. He was really fast listening to it. He liked it. Yeah, we listen to books over and over again that we've bought. And I started out, I'm trying to think of why I started listening to audiobooks. I think it was just because I wanted to read, but I just didn't have time. So I was like, well, let me try audiobooks because I liked listening to tapes and different things when I was younger. So I started with audiobooks and I just started listening to them at the library. And it was great, but nobody has a CD player anymore. And nobody, there's no way to play the old discs, that you would check out at the library. I can't find a player for it anymore. And so I had to, switch over to digital files. And I took a big break for a while because I was like, oh, it's going to be such a hassle and whatnot. And they've definitely evolved how they have allowed different books, on a digital format online. It's taken a while to get not just not just the files on in a way that is easy to download and then listen to, but also just the system for searching for audiobooks is so much better than it used to be. Check thrift stores for cheap CD players. Yeah, but then I have to have headphones with connectors, which I don't know, like we're all done with headphones with connectors, not all done. I actually got a Google Pixel 4a, you can see it here, has a headphone jack. How retro is that? I no longer have headphones. My last phone that I had before it died, I had for a couple of years, 2-3 years plus, didn't have a headphone jack. So I had to go to wireless headphones. And so because I went to wireless headphones, I really enjoy the fact that I can walk around anywhere without a wire hanging off of me. So, but then I basically got rid of anything that required a wire. So like the DVD players, the CD players, all that went away. Has anyone read or listened to any books by Haruki Murakami? I've heard that they're both really good and atmospheric, yet also really slow, so I can't decide if I want to try to read them yet. I've not heard of them. If you cancel your subscription, you keep the books you bought with credit but lose the free books. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. You think it's written? Patrick just edits. This is going back to the King Killer Chronicles. Patrick just edits it to perfection He's actually working on a screenplay for The Name of the Wind. I like to fall asleep to him. I do too. We fall asleep to him all the time. I don't know. I mean, he's working on all different kinds of things. It's been over 10 years. From what I understand, I don't think his editor has seen a draft of it, unless he just has it right now and he's, like you said, he's editing them himself. But I don't know. There's so much left to tell in the story, though. I really feel like if he's trying to complete the story in like a trilogy, ain't gonna happen. So I'm all for like side stories and just everything else that you can do. But anyway, he's got a team of readers. Ooh, okay, well that's cool. What's up, A Woods? Just passing through, move tomorrow, and just trying to finish up. Oh man, good luck with the move. Good luck with the move. My latest audio purchase is The Princess Bride. It's only 4 hours or so, but I still haven't heard it all the way because you fall asleep, right? I love that. I love that. You still have some old audiobooks on tape where you have to use an adapter to switch the audio to all left channel and then all right channels. So you listen to each tape twice. Both sides on the left and then both sides on the right. Wow. Oh, man. That's old school right there. Old school. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I should have done this one. Ah, I see. A Stitcherista on YouTube does a great series of videos on true crime stories. She's moved into true crime stories? I was watching her back when she was, well, it was a while ago. It was at least a couple years ago. I haven't watched her in a while. True crime stories. I used to have a boring job. I can only get through it by listening to audiobooks all day. That's what I would do. You wish you were stitching? I get you, but you got to move first. Get a good stitchy spot, and then you can stitch. Cool, cool, cool. Bum, 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 bum. So if she does true crime stories, does she just read them, or like what kind of true crime stories are we talking about? I'm not much for like real crime, true crime. Like I don't know. I'm a everything has to have a happy ending. Well, it doesn't have to have a happy ending, but I don't like drama. I don't like CSI type stuff. She reads articles. Ah. She does a lot of diamond painting now while reading true crime stories. It makes great listening while stitching or working on diamond painting. Cool. That's awesome. Oh. Ooh. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the yawning. Cool, cool, cool. She is definitely one of the OG when it comes to floss tube. One of the biggest first. She was definitely one of the first really break out on YouTube. Good for her. Ah, real crime stories that have been recommended by her viewers. She finds articles and reads them. Ah, she reads articles. Ah, gotcha. Oy. Oy. Oy, is all I gotta say. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see here. Wah, 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 wah. I need to remember to upload this video. Maybe I'll put this video out for a little finger snag out for my Stitch With Me for this week. I don't know what changed. What changed with my computer? I used to have to convert the file to the whatever that that YouTube would be able to upload. But now, for whatever reason, when I'm recording this right now, and when I'm done, I can just directly upload it to YouTube. It changed for me or maybe I just realized that I could do it that way. Who knows? That's possible. And so my and for like I don't even know like if YouTube changed their process, but it used to take like hours for things to upload to YouTube, and now it does it in like half an hour. I don't know what happened, but it changed and changed for the better. For the better. Okay, stop messing with my... I'm almost off the edge. I'm almost off the edge. Doogie's being a little bit of a baby. He must have gone up the 4 steps to the kitchen, and now he thinks he can't get back down. Doogie's a dog. Very silly dog. All right, Lucy. Well, good night. I'll see you laters. Yeah, drippy nose now. Drippy, droopy nose. Alrighty. Gonna get a bit more stitching done. Stitch for a little while longer. It's not too terribly late here. Gonna get some big time progress on this piece done this week. It's Pretty awesome. I mean, technically, if I can get this done, if I get all this lower stuff done, I can roll this down like another inch, maybe. But I might just also focus on this and then, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, that wasn't a very good stitch. I'm going to go over it. Get that part right there. How long have I been working on the Reaper? Gosh, when did I start this? I'm trying to think about when I saw it. I've probably been, wait, who's been watching my videos? Wait, which one of you crazies were watching all my videos? You could tell me when I started Reaper. I want to say it's like, I might started it about a year and a half ago, is my rough guess. That frog sounded painful. Painful to the fabric. Oh, you're welcome, cars. Thank you so much for hanging out. We always got some book recommendations. There we go. All right. All right, your stitching is looking pitiful. Yeah, I had a goal at the beginning of the year. I was like, I'm going to finish Reaper by October because I was all excited because this is for a friend of mine. And I was all excited to get it done. And then 2020 hit, and it just didn't happen. A little over 2 years ago. Thank you, Becky. Yeah, I dawdled at it. Dawdled? I don't know. I kind of messed around with it a little bit for a while. And it took me a while to get going. I'm trying to remember what it was about the piece that made it difficult for me to just get into it. I'm trying to remember. Part of it really sped up. Well, two things. Putting it on here really sped it up. But when Pain Free Crafts sent me the PDF, because they stopped, I don't know, maybe they're here today, but they stopped into the stream and they're like, why are you using a paper pattern? I'm like, because I don't have a PDF for it. She's like, give me your email address. And then she sent it to me because she loves Pattern Keeper too. So, Sarah Payne. And thankfully, I mean, and that really sped things up big time. Actually, I know for a while I lost the color chart. That'll throw you for a loop when you don't know which colors it was. I can't even talk. I am getting tired. You're the same way with a blanket you've been knitting for a couple years. Whoops, sorry guys. I keep hitting stuff. Cool. I mean, the raising the flag is going to end up being like the fastest thing that I've ever stitched and gotten done. Because it's probably going to be, it'll be less than 3 months from beginning to end for it. And it's about a 17,000 stitch pattern, so it's not a little thing. But I have a deep desire to finish that one. I'm like, I gotta finish this thing. This thing is so cool. And then once I finish that one, I'm gonna always be working on at least one of my black and white pieces to do them. And I'm also the Lincoln Memorial one, the Lincoln Memorial at Night one is another one I want to get some more time in on because I just think it's beautiful. Very excited about getting more progress done on that. Stormby, thank you for following. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. I just got so many of them that I want to get back to. I just need more time. I'm getting there, though. I'm getting there. because there's 47,000 stitches in this piece. And I'm at 32,560 of them are done. So I'm at 69%. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Way over here. There we go. But lately I've just been getting just lost on this one. I just stitch and stitch and stitch, and I'm just trying to get as much done as I can every week on it. Just get it done. I almost feel like it's tied to 2020 now, so I'm just like, get it done. It's too symbolic. Let's get it over with, get it out of here, move it on. We'll be good. You would love to start one of these big cross stitch pieces one day? Dude, you just gotta love, you have to love the pattern. If you find something that you're like, oh my god, that's so gorgeous, I have to stitch that, then go for it. Don't ever pick a pattern just because you're like, I want to start a full coverage cross stitch, I'll just do this one. Nay, you will never even come close to finishing it. So it's got to be something you love. I'm going to jump all over here stitching. I really should get everything back on the wall. I should put it on the wall here, and then I should move myself out away from the corner and shoot with everything behind me so that you guys can, here we go, so that you guys can see all the pieces and stuff. I used to do my floss tube videos standing in front of all my pieces, or sitting in front of all my pieces, all the stuff that I finished, but I switched out on that, partly because that's done in the kitchen, and the dogs don't let me record videos when I'm near them. I start talking, they think I'm talking to them, so they start jumping all over me. So it can be hard to record a video. If they're not jumping on me, they're barking at me. Like, why are you talking? Crazy person. Alright, I'm going to start. I'm not using very long pieces of floss here. I'm having to change my floss out quite a bit. That's okay. Does my back hurt using the stand? Yeah, I have to stretch every once in a while. I've got a pretty comfortable chair. It's got a little bit of a lower back support. But I find that a lot of times it's just because I'm weak. I'm not as strong as I used to be. So it does sometimes hurt. Now, the way I sometimes get around that is when I'm here, when I'm doing the stream, I keep this almost completely horizontal. But when I'm stitching for myself and you guys aren't around, I actually raise it up a little bit and tilt it so that I can actually stitch a little bit with my back up against, up against the back here. Otherwise, I just stretch. But I just gotta get stronger. Getting strong now. So yeah, after I've been stitching on this baby, I tend to have to stretch out for a bit to help the old back. Ooh, I think I stitched a little extra there. If I make a mistake, no, I didn't make a mistake, but if I make a mistake on this, on some of these, like, and I'm like, nobody's going to know, I just go ahead and just, because I'm going to forget that I made that mistake. As long as it's not like I put a red stitch in the middle of a big white patch or something, you know, if I think I made a mistake, I'm like, yeah, you know, just move along. Nothing to see here. There we go. I'm sitting here trying to remember where I'm at. Get in there. There we go. I need to clean the floor. I think that's on the to-do list tomorrow. Clean the floor around the stitchy area. We're going to find a bunch of needles, I'll bet you. Yeah, put that over here. So then, like in this case, I'm actually sitting up straight and leaning forward a little bit, but I am sitting up straight, but I can also feel that I need to stretch my back. Oh, man. I start talking to you guys and I think about all the cross-stitching projects that I have that I want to do. Pretty cool stuff to do. A lifetime's worth for sure. Well, maybe. We'll find out. Here we go. Hey Kay, what's up? What happened to Old World Map 2? Is it on the back burner? Yes, I was actually talking about that earlier tonight, because I'm starting to get a little bit of the itch back for it. Like, is this it? Yep, there it is. So, oh, hello, Binky. For those of you guys who don't know, if you haven't seen it, because I haven't ever pulled it out for a stream, it's my Old World Map 2. If you look in the tiny one, I mean, this thing is monster sized. I mean, it's just monster sized. It's an old piece of, and so it's 18 counts with tiny for me. And I need to get my booty back on working on it. But so my thumb is all hurting. Yeah, that was big, isn't it? You want to talk about a big project? It's almost too big. It's like intimidating. I call it my lifetime project. But so the reason why I stopped was because we had this thought. No, well, why did I stop? I think it just got to be a bit too much at one point. Like trying to track down the colors and stuff was just too much. But I was talking about it earlier that I'm starting to get a hankering for getting back into that. Now, the organization system that I have doesn't work great. It's still a little too messy. I need a bit more refinement of the system. It's great for just like bulk, you know, bulk storage of skeins of floss, but it's not great for when I need like one particular color. So we were looking at some things. There's a bit on Amazon, which now I have to look at the other store that was mentioned, but the little toolbox, not toolbox, storage bins that have all the tiny little drawers for them. They're what are they called, guys? Like you can put like screws in them, or like little, all the little things. And so there's a 64 drawer one, teeny little things. It would fit floss perfectly, and I'm actually thinking about getting a couple of those, putting those up on the wall, because I kind of don't think we're going to move anytime soon now. I think we're fixing up the house, and we're kind of like, yeah, maybe we're going to want to stay for a bit. Financially, it makes more sense to stay. It really does, by far. But if I put a couple of those up here, and then I focus on just putting the floss in for things that I would stitch on stream, or that I would just sit up here and stitch on, like, say, Old World Map 2, Rainy Waterloo Place, or the Reaper, or whatever. I just hang, that'd be like 128 colors. That roughly encompasses most of what I would need for Old World Map 2, because it's like a 200 color project. So I'm thinking about getting those bins. They're not that expensive. My mom just gave me a gift card for Amazon, and it would cover those. So if I got those, got the hubby to put them up on the wall, then just organize them, I would probably get back to work on Old World Map 2. So I just took a break for a while. It was almost like it was just too overwhelming. I couldn't handle it. And so, too much stress. But I should get back to it. I really should. And it's funny that you asked about that, because I have been thinking about it. Like I said, we talked about it earlier, and I've been thinking about it more and more the last couple of days. It's almost like it started calling to me again. I didn't realize it was sitting behind me this whole time. I knew it was in a bag somewhere around here, but I didn't realize it was right behind me. Okay, I gotta move this for a sec. Ow! I just poked myself. Like right up into my cuticle, right up in the skin, but I don't think I'm going to bleed. Nope. Get to keep all my blood today. Oh, the Reaper pays a price. But I'm really hoping that when I get my new, when I finally get the new roller frames, the new thing, I'll be able to get back on some old projects once I get some longer roller bars for this. It's going to be awesome. I wish, I'm like, dude, hire somebody else. The guy that makes the roller frame stuff. I mean, I know he's going as fast as he can, but the problem is that he's had issues with. I think he said he hired somebody. I think I heard that he had hired somebody, but it didn't work out. And I'm like, I wish that he lived close to us, because I can get my husband to help him, because a lot of this wood that he sands. Hold on. A lot of this wood that he sands, actually you can see right here too, it's so smooth. Everything is just so finely smooth. No, there's zero splinters or rough spots anywhere. And my hubby could totally help him with that. Because it's kind of like, everybody's stuck at home right now, and everybody's stitching. You could sell so many of these right now if you just get the product out. Get the product out. Which one? That Old World Map 2? Golden Kite. Golden Kite is where I got Old World Map 2 from. Dun, 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 dun. Waterfall threads, DMC color catalog hanging file bars. That's a mouthful right there. That sounds like I want a red. How's that go? I want a Red Rider carbine action with a stock on the side, whatever. I used to be able to say that whole thing. Let me Google it. Waterfall threads, DMC threads. Oh, now I can type. Oh, like that. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, let me send this to myself again. I don't want to stop and look at it because then I'll never talk to you guys. Okay. Okay, I'll go look at that though. I'll go look at that. Oh. I pull my hair so tight that my poor scalp hurts sometimes. Whoop. Where's my pattern keeper? Pattern keeper. There we go. All right, well, I'm going to have to take a look at that. That would be very cool. Do, 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 do. Cool, cool, cool. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, yep, 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 yep. Sounds like it's raining. I know it's not raining outside, but it almost sounds like it is. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Only problem is that Waterfall Thread's taking a break for a little while. Oh, are they? That's unfortunate. Well, maybe it's fortunate for them. You know, you never know why. Always. My brain doesn't want to work. Oh, I thought I had just about pulled that out there. Huh. Taking a break. Oh wow, hope not too long because your system is the best I found and used it in the last 15 years. Well, that's cool. I like it when people people have ingenuity. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Just a stitching. Are you going to sleep tonight? because you slept since I started the stream. I don't know. Little baby Yoda here is going to sleep tonight. I'll just give her another meal. Hey, no worries, Garonse. No worries. I'm glad you made the stream, and we'll see you next time. Sounds like a plan. I'm going to stitch a little while longer. I got a little bit more to stitch. We'll be wrapping up in the next half hour, but we're still got a little bit more to stitch, guys. Making progress. Making progress. All right, I'm going to, before I lose it, I'm going to do that right there. Just thinking. Holy moly cow. Where did I put that 648? Thought it was over there. Oh, I put it in a bobbin. Where's a bobbin? Where's a bobbin? Where's a bobbin? Did I drop it? Hello. Something fell on the floor earlier. It might have been that. Well, I see a needle. That did not make that kind of sound. Where did I put it? Well, shoot the moon. That had to have been what hit the ground. That has to be. So I just gotta look. There's a lot of sunflower seed husks on the ground. There's been a lot of sunflower seed murders around here. Which way did it go? Do you know what happened to it? Where? Do you have it? Do you have it, Binky? It's the Binky time. It's the Binky time. She always looks terrified. She says, I don't know what to say when I get in front of the camera. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl? Yeah. She's cute. I'm a good girl. Now, do you know where the 648 is? Because it's gone. I mean, I'm looking. I'm looking. That's 3023. $3032. It's got to be on the floor. It must have hit the floor when that something fell and made a sound. It made a sound, Binky. She says, hi. What's up? She looks like the little rat in Ice Age, right? You look like the little rat. She's like, I still don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm a little rescue dog. A couple months ago, I was in a cage in Missouri somewhere. And now I'm with this crazy person who stabs things with needles all the time. Did I sit on it? No. Huh. It has flown the coop, kids. Well, that's unfortunate. Binky time. It's Binky time. Is it Binky time, Binky? She's been a good little girl. She's been just sitting down here the whole time. Just being a good little girl. Alright, so, well, if I can't do that color, then I'll do a little bit of this color so I can finish up this area, and then I'll be almost done with this whole lower section. That would be amazing! Snip, 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 snip. Yeah, she is really a good girl. I'm just impressed with the fact that I don't actually even kennel her at night anymore. Like, she gets to choose if she wants to sleep in her kennel or if she wants to sleep in her little bed. She can do whichever one she wants to, and she usually chooses the bed, although sometimes she's gone in the kennel. But she's a really good little girl. I think only every other night maybe she comes and eats all the cat food in here. Really depends on what the cat's up to. And then she doesn't wake me up until the time that, right about the time that my alarm's supposed to go off. It's like somehow she knows. And literally, like, she'll wake me up and like within 5 minutes my alarm goes off. It's uncanny. And even then, if like this morning, I got up and I was like, well, I don't have to be anywhere, so I'll just feed you and come back to bed. And that's what I did. And I got a little bit more sleep. And she let me sleep a little longer. She's like, that's okay, you can sleep now. All right. Probably go through one or two bits of floss here with this color and call it a night. I just wanted to get a little bit more done on this piece. And then tomorrow morning I'll get back to stitching on raising the flag. Winian's going to beat me to the end, though. I know it. Although, if I go crazy, I could get almost done with it tomorrow, but I don't know if I can stitch that much in a day. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know plenty of days I get over 1,000 stitches done. Now that I have Pattern Keeper to tell me. I think if I wasn't working, I think I would shoot for about maybe 1,500 stitches a day. 1,500 if I could stitch all day. I don't know, that's a lot. Maybe just 1,000. A 1,000 stitches a day, and I would have had this done in less than 2 months. That's a lot, though. That's a lot for one piece. Okay, gonna try to make sure I get the correct non-stitch. I think it's that one. There we go. Does anybody have any cool plans for the rest of the weekend? I have no plans, which is my favorite kind of plans. Goal is to finish it tonight. Oh, dude, you're going to get there. That is so awesome. So very cool. Bum, 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 bum. Stitching plans there too. Nice. Everybody's stitching. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I'll be back on Sunday morning for stitching fun. Maybe we'll finish raising the flag at that point. We'll see if I'm that close or just about there. What are you doing, boo-boo? You trying to get to the cat food? No, you cannot get to the cat food. The cat would pounce on you and crush you and smoosh you into binky bites. You'd be binky bites. That would not be good. Oh, I think I stitched the thing that I was supposed to not stitch. That's okay. We'll get over it. I'll get over it. I'll forget. Tomorrow I did that. All right, Arrow. We'll see you later. Hey, Taylor. You're watching at work. Getting really jealous watching me stitch, so definitely be stitching when you get home and for the rest of your weekend. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. See you, Arrow. Have a good night, okay? Stitching and trying to finish the bottom of the 3 pages. You're really close to finishing. You've done 2,050 tent stitches today. Woo, that's a lot of progress. That's a lot of progress. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Seriously, Binky, did you get over the cat food? Binky! It's kind of too late. She got over there somehow. Mercury, Binky's eating your food. It's not my idea, but can't stop her now. Somebody's got to clean it up. Now I don't have to feed her tonight. Oh, boy. My children. They crazy. There's that. Okay, well, I got those correct. Shoo. Pinky, you're going to have a belly tonight. It's going to be really full, and it's going to be a little upset because you're eating cat food, you know. I know you don't care about such things, but I kind of care. Of course, if I cared enough, I wouldn't have let you over there. She's so dang cute. Alright, I'm going to put that one up here. The frog has come to visit your house? No! Not the frog! Thanksgiving frogs are the worst. Well, honestly, any frog is bad. Come on. Okay. Right. Where's that? One more. One more. Why not? It's pretty much almost done. We're pretty much almost done. I just have thoughts in my head that are spinning around and around and around. 200 stitches? That's bad. Could have been worse, but it's not. But it's bad. You can do it. Do it right here with us. Woo! As I fall, drop my stuff. Okay, so that's that, right? Okay, so that's that, and this is this. So that is that one. Here we go. 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 There's that. Put that there. Pinky's being a pig. Cleaning up the mess. You watch the cat will show up right at the end like he always does. Of course, he leaves a lot of food because he likes we feed him only wet food now because he otherwise ends up with a lot of constipation issues because of the dry food. So we're trying to get him to ingest as much water as possible, but he likes to, like the fancy feast and stuff, he likes to just get the juices out of it, and then he leaves a lot of the solid matter. Doesn't come back for it. He never comes back. I'm staring at this because I'm like, where am I? What's going on? There we go. Now we're stitching. Stitching. What else would you do? Only with your friends. That's right. Frog. 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 Ah. Alrighty. We're going to break 300 stitches tonight. That's might be a record for a Stitch With Me. For a single Stitch With Me session. All right. Ah. That one. That one. 311 right now. Yes. Whoops. I somehow pulled that right out with one hand. Grab the needle and the floss and put them in different fingers. That was weird. Do, 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 do. Oh, Binky, sounds like you're eating way too much over there. You're going to get sick tonight, aren't you? But you're going to be happy. Well, at least it's not too much of the rich fluid stuff. I had her with me one day. I stopped at McDonald's for lunch. She's obsessed with McDonald's now, so now I can't take her with me when I go anywhere for lunch because she's just so crazy about it. She like climbs all over me. Give me some of that. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, it's going right off the edge again, isn't it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cat's here. Binky. Cat's here. Come here, Binky. Come on, Binky. You can do it, Binky. I may have to save Binky's life. Hold on. Did you just throw up? You better not. You big pig. Or is that's from fear, isn't it? Yeah, you're in the corner. See? Well, you should have learned. Wait, you didn't even finish it. Come here. Oh, I just got the big belly. I saved your life. You remember that now. You let me sleep an extra half hour tomorrow, okay? Oh. Oh. There's a fence up around my desk area here because of this one, because of the dog and the cat. Does anybody remember what she looked like before? She got the big belly now. She's got the big belly. All right, you, food thief, into your bed with you. Goodness gracious. Cat, don't come over here. Alrighty. I'm going to finish up a little bit more stitching, guys, and then I know Lori's frogging like mad, but I am losing steam here. If I was steam powered, I'd be losing steam. Did I do that right? No. No, I did not. All right. There. Ha-ha! Suddenly I'm back on the other page. Let's see. Pull that over here. Dun, 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 dun. Gonna zip up the top here. Got those done. Got that one done, and that one done, and that one done. I think I got everything done I'm supposed to there. Just missed a couple stitches. Okay, I'll get that later. Oh, you're frogging? But I'm going to after this? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I can always tell when I'm like getting too tired because like everything takes 10 times as long. Because I'm like, what am I doing? You go go over here. I don't have a lot of room for you over there, but that's where you're going to go. Oh, Binky. All right, almost there. That one. Ack, come on. That one. And that one. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to ditch this one. Oh, is that the... Okay, I'm like, what am I doing? See, I am definitely getting tired. Because I'm like, that's where I left off with the 648. Ah, so close. So close. There we go. Almost there. Actually, I'm going to end it there because every time I try and stretch it out, I never get. I start having all kinds of issues. Let me. Ah. There's that. That. 337 stitches. That is pretty good. Pretty good, kiddos. Just have a little bit confetti through here. It's like one color, one down here, and then I got to go up around this area and finish in all this. And then I just have the center. I have 4 pages left on this project at that point. And it started, it was 16 pages. I am just about done with, getting close to being done with 12 of the 16. So, all right, kids. Oh, you're going to bed after this? Gotcha. Thanks for the late, long live stream. You're able to finish the go space on the game box, moving the hoop to start on the spaces between go and jail corners. And done. You're done? Nice. Well, sounds like a good time to go to bed for all of us then. For those of us who, it's not that late here, but it's late enough. You guys have a great one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I definitely think 3 hours is the longest stream I've done in a really long time. I will be streaming again Sunday morning, roughly starting about 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, so that would be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so, yeah, you're so welcome, Becky. EJ, I'll see you Sunday. But, yeah, I'll see you guys then. We'll see how much progress we've all made since then, or since now, till then. Something like that. And yeah, I gotta tidy up all these and get this going. But yeah, I think I'm gonna upload this one. It's a nice quiet stitching stream. I don't know, like, we had fun on Sunday. I can't remember, but anyway, you guys take care. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Thank you for hanging out. Nancy, thank you for subscribing, and I will see you guys in a couple of days. Not even a couple of days. Day and a half. All right. Night-night, guys. Take care. Bye.